Hello my dear friends, welcome to the Java programming playlist. In this video, we are going to see a very important keyword in Java programming, that is this keyword. So this keyword in Java programming is what we are going to see in this video. Let us first introduce what is this keyword. So this keyword in Java, this is a way for us to reference an object of the class which is being created or referenced. So this keyword is used within the class. It is actually used to refer to the object of the class which is getting, either it is getting created or it is being referenced with the help of some member variable or method within the class. In either of the case, when we are creating an object, we can use this keyword, or when we are referring to an object, then we can also use this keyword. Now, what is the purpose of this keyword? This keyword, that is, it is used to call the default constructor of the same class. Using this keyword, we can call the default constructor of this class. Actually, this keyword is used within the class and it refers to the object of the same class. So when we create that object, we can use this keyword to call the default constructor. This keyword eliminates the confusion between the parameters and the class attributes with the same name. Take a look at the example given below. Now, if there is a member variable and there is a parameter of any given method, then their confusion arises with the compiler. So we can solve that confusion, we can eliminate that confusion using these keywords. So this keyword helps us in doing that. Let us look at the example. So here there is a class CWH which is having a member variable x, which of the return type integer, and here we have defined a getter method for the x which does nothing but it returns the value of this member variable x, and the name of this getter method is getX. It is returning integer and it is actually public. It has to be public. Here is the constructor with parameters. So CWH is the class name, hence we know that name of the constructor is same as that of the class. But this constructor is the parameterized constructor with one parameter with the name x of return type integer. Now here we have written x is equal to x. The intention behind writing this statement is this member variable x should be assigned the value of this parameter x. It could be either way also, but the majorly in programs what we do is we want this parameter value to be given to the member variable so it can be retained and used as and when required. Now let us call this parameterized constructor. Now to call the constructor, what we have to do is we have to create an object. So in public static void main, we have created an object obj1 of the class CWH with the keyword new and CWH and 65. So what 65 is 65 is the parameter that is passed to this method constructor with this argument integer x, and then we are trying to print this value of x using the get method. So obj1.getX, so here is this getX, it will return the value of x and that value will be passed to println and it will be printed onto the screen. Now if you compile, there will be no error, and when we run, let us see what is the output. So output expected is 65 because what we have done is we have passed this 65 to the constructor and we want this value to be assigned to the member variable x. But if we run this program, we will get the output 0. In the above example, the expected output is 65 because we have passed x equal to 65 to the constructor of the CWH class. but the compiler fails to differentiate between the parameter x and the class attribute x. When this statement is encountered, which x is the parameter and which x is the member variable, the compiler does not understand that. And since the parameter x is a local variable, it will be given the high priority, and both the value of x will be the same, that is 65, but this x is actually the parameter, not the member variable. Therefore it returns 0. Now how can we solve this? We want to use this statement in such a way that the member variables should get the value of this parameter. Let us see how we can do this. Let us see how we can handle this situation with the help of this keyword. Now we need this keyword for doing this activity, that is assigning the value of parameter to the member variable. Let us take a look at the code below. The code looks almost similar to what we have seen in the previous slide, but there is a slight change. The class name is CWH. Here also you have this member variable x, then we have written the getter method getx, which returns the value of x, and x value can be used at any place. But here this constructor with parameter, there is a change. Here what we have done is this dot x. So this dot x will refer, because this is the object of the class CWH, and when we say object dot some member variable, it will definitely refer to this member variable. And here we have just simply written x, so x is the parameter here. Now we call the constructor, and to call the constructor we have to create the object. CWH obj1 equal to new CWH 65. So this 65 will be passed to x. X here is the parameter, and this value of 65 will be given to the member variable x, because here we have written this dot x. Then system.out.println obj1.getx. Now getx member function is actually a getter method which will return the value of x. Now here there is no other x in the scope other than the x, which is the member variable, so it will return this. Now if in this getx method, if there is some confusion, then we have to use this keyword. Now let us see what is the output of this program if we compile and run it. So here we will get the output 65, because 65 will be given to this x, and this x will store that value to this dot x. This dot x is referring to the member variable integer x, and when we call this getx method, it will return the value of this member variable x, and hence it will print 65. Now it can be seen that we have got the desired output. So this is one use of this keyword. We can do many such activities using this keyword. Now let's say if in this constructor we want to call this getx method, then this dot getx will call up this method, and this will refer to the object which is getting created or referenced. Here in this case it is getting created, obj1 is created. Now obj1 will be referred to as this object, this keyword in the constructor, or it is within the class. I hope it is clear, my dear friends. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned for more videos on Java programming.